welcome to a very special show on the NDTV Detol Banega Swasth India campaign. Today we have a very special guest with us, someone who has proved time and again that age is just a number. He has broken stereotypes and pushed boundaries around fitness. In fact, he loves to blend sustainability with fitness. We have with us actor, supermodel, film producer and fitness enthusiast Milind Soman.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You know, the first thing I want to ask you, you have run actually, let me put it that way, from Delhi to Mumbai, and obviously that wasn't enough, and now you cycle back.
Yes.
Tell us, you are an inspiration to many of us. What is your inspiration? What really motivates you?
Well, I like being fit. I like being healthy, the feeling of good health, the feeling that I can do whatever I want, whenever I want in my life. For example, this cycle ride, it's something that I do often, a challenge. And I challenge myself three or four times a year. And I thought of this cycle ride, and I haven't sat on a cycle for about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So then it becomes a challenge. If I was a cyclist or I was cycling every day, then it's not much of a challenge. So that is something that's important. I want to keep feeling that way, that anything I think of, I want to swim the Strait of Gibraltar, I can go there and swim it, which is between Africa and Europe.
Yeah,
or I want to climb some mountain, or I want to run from another city to another city.
So challenges somewhere really motivate you?
Challenges do. Challenges motivate me because they reassure me and reaffirm that I'm in good shape, that I can do whatever I want.
So we all make New Year resolutions, we'll all be fit. Tell me, we talk about health and fitness. How can we make this a part of our lifestyle?
I think you should stop making New Year resolutions.
And have it through the year.
Yes.
And have it through the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever you think of it as something important, I mean, that is the time you make it a priority.
Yeah.
Don't wait for New Year, because then it just gets mixed up in a whole lot of other things, all the celebration that happens. And as soon as the celebration is over, so is this.
Yeah, and then we're back.
You're back to wherever you are. And the thing is that whenever it strikes you that this is something that I really need to make an effort for, it could be on the 1st of May, could be on the 28th of June. Whenever it is, you say that this is what I'm going to do, and every day I'm going to make a small effort to be fitter.
Yeah. Milind, you have been running marathons for nearly 2 decades now. And then you also co-founded the Pinkathon, which is India's biggest women's run. So our campaign also focuses on women health, self-care, something which many times women just overlook. You know, they're busy with their household chores and stuff. What really was the thought behind Pinkathon, and what is your message for the women out there? How important is it to take care of their own health?
So it's important for everybody, because we're all human, and human beings, as I have said before, we are not designed for comfort. We are not designed, our bodies, our minds are not designed for comfort. Our bodies and minds are designed for challenge. So when you take something that is designed for something but you use it for something else, it is going to deteriorate. It's going to break down. So you need to keep working on it, you need to keep making the effort, you need to keep challenging yourself, whether you're a man or a woman or anybody. And after about 10 years of running, and I saw that India was really getting big on the international running scene. In fact, we even today have the fastest growing running community in the world.
Wow.
I saw that women were not joining in that phenomenon. I mean, the event participation was about 4 or 5%.
Yeah.
So I thought there could be some inhibitions. I don't know what they are, and maybe it would be easy to find out if we had an event only for women. And that was a great learning experience, why women don't run. And there's a lot of role expectations involved in it, behavior, society, I mean many things, and it's just about a change in perspective, that women first begin to believe that yes, they need to make this choice, they need to have a fitter lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle. Not only that, if they have a fitter and healthier lifestyle, they are more, it's possible for them to inspire their families by example.
Yeah.
Because I have people coming up to me and telling me that, my son is a fan of yours. And I say, why isn't he a fan of yours? Why aren't you doing things that he can see as a great example? Because it's not enough to send children to school and to workshops and tuitions and have them being taught by other people. As parents, we have to teach them
and they could be the
best values, absolutely, at home.
Yeah. In fact, Mankaur at 93, she started. So, I mean, you did get those kind of women who, they just changed the whole perception of running.
Absolutely. I mean, when we started Pinkathon, it was with a 3 kilometer, 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer. Then the women, kind of said, 10 is too little. Why can't we have a 21? We started at 21. And then just before the pandemic in 2018, we had the first Pinkathon 100K,
yes.
where women had to run 100 kilometers under 24 hours. And there were lots of women over the age of 65. And the oldest woman was 70. And these are non-athletes, they're just housewives who have come out one day and said, I want to do something for myself.
Determination, I guess.
Absolutely.
We know that fitness, physical fitness has a lot to do, and it really helps mental health, mental well-being and emotional health as well. What are your thoughts on that? Because today we see mental health is a challenge.
Well, all ideas of health are connected, even when you're looking at the environment, environmental health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, financial health.
Yeah.
It all impacts the other. When you start doing something for your physical health, it obviously impacts your mental health in a good way. That is what we know scientifically.
Yes.
When you do something for your physical health, it impacts your mental health. Then that mental health impacts all the decisions that you make. So when you're making the right choices out of a positive mindset, a stronger mindset, obviously those choices impact the environment.
Sure.
So what I keep telling people, we don't need to think a lot about the environment. We need to start making good choices for ourselves. If we make healthy choices for ourselves, I don't think we need to think about the environment at all.
It'll happen automatically, I guess. In fact, we are going to be asking you some questions on the environment, because you have been running for the environment. Just a question, like you were talking about women and how parents can be role models.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of your mom. And the kind of
big
videos,
role model.
and her squat videos, everything, the push-ups, and it always motivates me, of course, and she's great. So is it that you inspire her, or she inspires you? Or is it a great team, and now with Ankita as well, so it's a family of fit people?
So yeah, we all inspire each other. Even my sisters, I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
They all walk and run and do all kinds of things. My younger sister runs the half marathon. Ankita runs the full marathon. My mother does all kinds of crazy things all the time. We went on a trek, in fact, last year in December. From Darjeeling to Sandakphu, and she did the whole trek at 12,000 feet, at the age of 82.
And I think she was the first one to do it at that age.
She was, that's what the mountaineers were saying over there. So it was incredible, the way she can inspire people to understand their own capability. And the problem is that we have lost the idea of what is normal. Like people think my mother's extraordinary. But the fact is that everybody at that age, if they've taken care of their health, should be capable of doing that. If I'm 56 and people come and ask me, how at your age? I said, this is normal. Any 56-year-old should be able to do what I'm doing. You just can't do it because you've neglected your health.
Yeah, I guess that's why they say, you've pushed boundaries and you inspire everybody all the time.
Yes, but if you see in previous generations, our parents, our grandparents, their parents, they could all do much more than what we can do.
Stronger. I think that's what,
much stronger.
The food they ate, the environment.
Everything. Like I said, we are not designed for comfort. Now, because of technology, society, convenience, everything has become that much more comfortable. And that's only an illusion. Because we think we're comfortable and we think everything is convenient, but actually our minds and our bodies are getting weaker and weaker and weaker and more open to disease.
So Milind, on that note, we're going to be taking a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what you were just saying about the environment and how it affects each one of us. Welcome back. We are in conversation with Milind Soman, someone who's been running for the environment for decades. Milind, tell me, we do know now there is enough, we all know that environment, health and our health is linked. We do need to make right choices. That's what also you were saying, that we need to do things for ourselves and automatically it'll reflect. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because you said, I've been running for the environment for decades, but that's not strictly true. I've been running for myself.
Okay.
Because I'm interested in my health. I want to be healthy. I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy how beautiful life is. And I just feel that if all of us did a little bit, made a small effort towards our physical and mental health, we really wouldn't have to face the crisis that we have now when it comes to the environment. But because of technology maybe and our kind of want for, our aspiration for comfort, our aspiration for convenience, we create a lot of pollution ourselves. So we need to temper those wants. We need to control those wants, and we need to understand, do we really need this as individuals? Do I need this, and only if I need it I'm going to use it? We've become a consumerist society today. We all know that, everybody talks about it, that we consume and we consume and we consume, and we say, what are we going to leave for future generations? And I'm saying I ran I run on the highway, I cycle on the highway, and I know that babies, it's not about future generations anymore. It's about the next generation that has already been born. I don't think when they get to my age or even half my age, they'll be able to do what I'm doing. Because their lungs won't be developed that much. They won't be strong enough. As we've already discussed, look at our previous generations, they were so strong. They used to just not even think of walking 40 kilometers or 50 kilometers or anything. It was not even something to be considered. They could just do it. We can't even think of driving that much now. So that's how weak we are, not only physically but also mentally, but also emotionally, because we have distanced ourselves from the toughness that we require to face life. We have this illusion of comfort and convenience, you know, but we need to really understand that fact that we are, as human beings, and every species on the planet is actually built to face challenges. It is built for difficulty. It is not built for convenience and for comfort.
And that's the very important point what you said, and also what you said, Milind, need and want. Of course, there's a very thin line, but many of us, you know, we somewhere get lost between that. But you were talking about pollution, you know, whether it's water pollution, air pollution. Talking a little bit about your cycling, you know, 1,500 kilometers. What do you think about? Of course, it's a big challenge, pollution. It's affecting each one of us. Do you think cycling is a good way? I mean, some way to combat pollution? And tell us about your trip, this whole, you know, the whole cycling.
Well, every little thing that you do can probably make things a little better. So, as we spoke earlier, I did a very, very long run from Delhi to Bombay in 2012, and that was also to talk about the environment and what we can do, what are the steps we can take to mitigate our impact on the environment. And I see that from then to now, there is a big change. People have started understanding it a lot more, talking about it a lot more, accepting it. But the change is slow. It's very, very slow. Maybe too slow. We don't know. I mean, we know that the environment is always going to be there. We may not be there.
True.
Our future generations that we keep talking about, what are we going to leave for them? They may not even be there to enjoy or not what we have left.
Just another thing, you know, you were telling us you went for a trek with your mom. Another trek which I was reading, you went with Ankita and your mom, and you all actually collected garbage, which you all do often. So plogging is something which is very doable. What are your thoughts on that? Because there are a lot of people who've started doing that.
Yeah, I think it's a great initiative, and it's just about social awareness and wanting to do something for society, not thinking who has made the mess, but doing your bit to clean it up. So there are a lot of people. I think it started somewhere in Scandinavia, and the people now all over the world do it. I do it sometimes when I'm on the way to a temple, you know. It's not like I'm a big fan of temples, but they're always in the most picturesque spots. And when you're going up, it's sad to see that people going to a temple, which is to worship nature in a way, are creating so much waste and so much garbage. And I think it's a good thing to just pick it up as a way of showing your respect.
Yeah, and I think even our Prime Minister is talking about it, right? A garbage-free India. So it's high time we again take...
And I think not only that, he's also talking about it because he wants to emphasize on the fact that each one of us has a responsibility, and we can do at least something, whatever we feel like, to make the situation better. Use less water. Think about it. Are you using too much water? Are you turning on your generator too quickly? Are you using the air conditioner too much? Are you buying too many clothes? I mean, what can you do personally to make the situation better?
I mean, like you said, choices, but just coming on to the food aspect, again, you know, we've spoken about fitness. Sometimes, you know, what we really eat or what's on our plates affects the environment. What are your thoughts on that? Like, because, you know, there's this whole thing about sustainable eating. So what do you think?
Well, people ask me often, and in fact always, because I'm doing like a long distance event, and the first thing is not how did you, train for it, how did you prepare for it. The first thing is what did you eat. They all think it's about the food. In fact, in Hindi we have a saying like, kis chakki ka aata khaya hai. But it's not about the eating the chakki ka aata, it's about moving the chakki yourself, you know. So that is something that's very, very important. So I believe in growing your own food, which I've started doing very recently, in fact, during the pandemic. And obviously you can't grow everything that you need, but whatever you can do is a step in the right direction. And eating locally, eating seasonal, eating whole food, that is my priority. It's not that I don't eat packaged food, because if I'm running hundreds of kilometers on a highway, it's very difficult to get fresh food. So of course I do eat all kinds of packaged food because I have to sustain myself. But the priority would be home cooked and fresh and local and seasonal.
You know, organic food is again something, which people are talking about because it's just better for the environment, soil, water. You were also associated, in fact, on your, when you were cycling. Tell us, what are your thoughts on organic food? Like, in fact, there are companies like Earth-Made Organics who, who say that, our food is organic and it's good for not only your health, but also the environment.
Yes, so as I said, every step that can be taken. If organic food is good, and we largely say that it's good, again, there is still a debate on what goes into making organic food and what actually is organic food. But just the concept, it's a mindset again that is in the right direction. You know, we need to go into a direction that is going to be good for physical health and is also going to be good for environmental health.
Sure.
So all the companies are doing that today. I think they need to be supported.
Absolutely. In fact, again, I wanted to ask you something on diet-related illnesses, whether it's obesity, whether diabetes in our country, heart problems. Again, nutrition is something, do you think we are talking enough about it, or are we doing the right thing? I mean, if I
think
ask,
we're talking too much about it.
Yeah.
And not doing enough about it. Like I said,
too many diets, too many fads.
Parents need to understand. Again, I mean, the simplest thing is that, you know, eat what your grandparents ate. I mean, how difficult is that? And that's where you start. You start with, what did your grandparents eat? They were healthy, they were fit, they were doing everything that they wanted to do, and more than what you have done, because those situations were different, much tougher.
Yeah.
And you just start with eating what they eat, because that is what is necessary for you. That is what is enough for you. Now you want to add to that, you consider making the right choices.
Yeah, I mean, that was tried and tested.
That was tried and tested, absolutely. And the whole thing about health is learning about yourself. Like, maybe even a traditional diet is not good for you. Maybe genetically you have some allergies, you don't know. So you have to experiment, and you have to see what is good for you when you eat it, good for your body, good for your mind, good for your spirit. Because we know from 5,000 years, when Hippocrates said that food is medicine and medicine is food, you know that you have to be very careful with what you eat. You can't just pop medicines and eat kilos and kilos of medicines, and how can you eat kilos and kilos of food?
Exactly.
It's the same thing. It's going to affect your body, it's going to affect your mind, it's going to affect everything that you do in life.
You know, I mean, again, like, there are so many fads, there's so many diets. Tell me, a lot of people want to listen to you. What are the 5 musts in your diets, and what are the 5 things which you would ask people to avoid?
Well, for me, eat everything. Is there anything else?
any
Local, seasonal, moderate. Don't eat too much. Don't fill your stomach. So it's a joke, of course, but I say as a rule that don't eat so much that you can't do 20 push-ups. But it does stem from the fact that you don't fill your stomach so much that, you know, digestion becomes a problem. So eat in moderation. Eat everything. Eat local. Eat seasonal. And experiment with your food. That is, I think, the 5th thing. That make sure you learn what is best for you. Don't just eat it because it tastes good, because it may not be good for you.
And just a last question on, you know, people often complain, we don't have time to go to the gym, or I'm busy. How do you motivate those kind of people? Because we all have spoken that exercise is important.
I motivate people by doing what I do. Hopefully that motivates people, I don't know. But I think the easiest way to motivate yourself is to start doing something that's good for yourself. Firstly, when you do that, it makes you feel good, because you know it's good for you. Start with very, very small goals, tiny goals, 1 minute of exercise. You start with 1 minute of exercise, say, how many push-ups can you do in a minute? Maybe you can do 10, maybe 15, maybe 20. But if you're regular, you do them every day, very soon you'll do 22, you'll do 30, you'll do 35, you'll do 40, I can do 50. So by the time you get to 50, in just that 1 minute every day, you will have definitely changed how fit you are.
Milind, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.